Original.
Yeah.
So as you look at it and you understand the concept behind the 1960 Greensboro lunch counter, what are your thoughts?
Now I do know about the story behind this. I am a school teacher and I teach this. Yeah.
Oh, good.
Yeah. So I teach this every year, and I think it's just for me, it's just very emotional and to look at it and to I'm not going to, but you want to touch it and feel it. And I like seeing the scuffs where people's feet hit and things like that to make it real.
It connects you.
Yeah.
All right.
And so I like that sort of tactile connection to it, and it brings forth a lot of emotion.
And when you say you teach it, how do your students respond?
They're in fourth grade, so it's like they get it on one level and they don't get it on another, right? Mm-hmm. And so, but they do really get how, through a lot of teaching, it's hard to get across to them just how brave you had to be to sit there when everyone wants you to leave.
That's right.
And so I think, that's what they tend to respond. And they'll always remember. This is one of the things I teach. This is one of the things they'll always recall, like when they do their little essay at the end of the unit.
Why do you think that grabs them like that?
Because they were students, and the kids were students. It's a very, very clear. It's not a very complicated act what they did. I mean, obviously it was hard to do, but it wasn't very complicated. It was very simple, just sitting at the counter. So they're able to get it. And I think it was one distinct act versus, they'll remember that Rosa Parks didn't get up from her seat, but they don't. The whole rest of the story doesn't necessarily click for them.
For the fourth grade.
Yeah, but sitting there until this policy was changed is very straightforward.
Straightforward.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Yeah, but we have to do a project. Is that okay?
Okay.
Are you all right with that? Okay, just think. Basically, what we're talking about is see, think, and wonder. So we're going to say we're going to like different slides here. We want to get people's thoughts, their responses to it. Okay. So when you look at the counter and you know the story behind the Greensboro lunch counter situation in 1960, what does that lead you to think? Wonder in the future. Think today, wonder about next.
Really for me, it just draws a lot of emotion. I mean, I can't necessarily say it makes me wonder about the future. It makes me wonder. Like I see here, it says February 1st through July 25th. Like it makes me wonder about how that process went, about how many different people were involved. Was it? I know it had to be coordinated to, to
There was some sort of coordination behind the campaign, right?
It makes me wonder about exactly, how it was orchestrated.
The mechanics behind it and how they communicated their goals.
I actually went to undergrad in Greensboro, so I'm familiar with the downtown area. And I think about the area. Downtown Greensboro brings to mind some nostalgia from college, personally. But I think about, the gentlemen, and if they knew that the sacrifice they were making that day would have this type of impact on history, and then it would come to be an exhibit in a Smithsonian museum in Washington, D.C. So,
At 17 and 18, did they have those thoughts, right?
Right.
Amazing. What about the fact that we have the young men sitting in the front, and yet they're not supposed to be there? What about the young man standing in the back? Working.
It's one of the first things you actually notice,
That.
It's like you can be on the other side of the counter.
right.
That's right. That's a place where you belong.
That's
but
where
you don't
you
belong
belong.
on this side of the counter. Exactly. And what are his thoughts as these gentlemen are taking this move?
Now that you mention that, it makes me wonder about, other settings, corporate settings, where sort of the same opinions exist, and it's maybe not as open, but maybe it's, maybe it's a position. Your position is here.
Right.
You're an admin assistant, that's your
you
position.
stay in your
And as long as
place.
you stay there in that seat, so it makes me wonder what kind of changes we can look forward to and how would we orchestrate those changes.
And also,
when
how
it's
far
not
have we
so.
really come?
How far have we come?
Yes. Yes.
Right, standing in front of the Greensboro lunch counter, and the three things: see, think, and feel, the first thing that I see when I came to this was definitely the mirror. And it just makes me feel that emotion by being able to look back at myself and make it feel like I'm a part of that in that time period and kind of what was going through the minds of the people that took part in this movement. And it makes me kind of feel this sense of emotion, and it's kind of overwhelming. And so definitely those are the three things when I say see, think, feel that come to mind when I look at this in the museum.